Welcome to 26 Black Night Film Festival, and you are with the PÖFF TV. The segment Meet the Filmmakers, and we have a very interesting film from the first feature competition, and the film was also doing the international premiere. The title of the film is Everybody Wants to Be Loved, and I would like to welcome the director Katharina Voll. Welcome, Katharina.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes. Katharina, before we getting into the film, let's talk about your journey to this film, talking about urban life and relationships. But then earlier, you worked with you've done short films, and then you were working with a documentary film for some time. So, when did you want to how you wanted to get into this making a first feature film?
Yeah, so I was studying at film school, and of course I did a lot of short films, and as you mentioned before, I'm also interested in documentaries, work with documentaries, filmmakers, and theater as well.
Yep.
So my scripts are very character driven, I would say. It's very based on human relationships towards, in between families. I'm also interested in family dynamics. And especially women, this first feature also plays with 3 generations of women and what kind of expectations are towards them, what kind of relationships they have. So the script to this film I co-wrote with a scriptwriter and friend of mine who I've been knowing and who I've been working with also for the past years. And it took us quite a long time to write it and then to film it because COVID came along and so on. But we started from the character of the main person who's a 40-something therapist, and then from there on we had different storylines, and then how it is with scripts, you write and rewrite it, and then.
So, for how long did you work on this project?
It's always hard to say because you do different projects on the side, but a few years, I would say.
Okay. Right. So, let's get into the film. It has kind of very interesting structure with how you have developed the characters, and also in a certain way when you're watching the film, we feel you are trying to bring mirroring the clients to her, what clients talk about, and then it reflects on her. So how did you work, what was your decision to make it like that?
So my main protagonist, she is a psychotherapist, and the film plays only on one day and the evening before. And I was interested in, first she had another profession, but then we came up with a psychotherapist also because Florian's mother is a psychotherapist, my aunt is a psychotherapist, so we are kind of familiar with the life and treatment of a psychotherapist. And it helped us because, the film is also about Ina trying to fulfill everybody's expectations, so we wanted her to work in a care profession as well. She could be a doctor or something as well, but we were interested in the mentally section. So the day is structured by the therapy sessions she gives to various patients. That's the day, and we were quite, as you said, trying to mirror her problems and also show that she is a very professional and good therapist. She helps her patients, but she is a bit blind in her own life and towards her own problems and relationships.
So
she
do
can't
you
really
see?
clear it. So this makes also a bit the comedic aspect of it.
Right. So do you see this is as a common issue also, in your research part, where that therapists always when they can listen to people, but when it come to them, whether the tables turns. Yeah. So
I won't say too much about
yes.
it. But I think it could be,
Okay.
Yeah.
And also I could see you in your photography in the film, it's very carefully composed compositions that you use in the film. It's like, you know, give very smooth kind of a flow in the film. And also when I'm watching it, like you start with an eagle eye, and then, like, you know, you basically optically manipulate, like you zoom in to the character. And also there are certain plot points that when the character develops, or, like, you know, when the thinking process goes in, you are zooming into the character, like, you know, it's not even tracking, it's like, you know, you optically you're going in. So what was your discussion with your cinematographer on this?
Yeah, so it's really an actual manual zoom. We didn't work digitally or edit something afterwards. It's really,
there was like optical change, you can see it.
Yeah, exactly. We had such a lens, and then we zoomed in. So the film starts with a zoom, with a zooming in, and the film ends with a zooming out.
Yes, when she planting the water, like, you know, zooms out, yes.
So this is a bit of, you know, like getting the impression, or we wanted the impression that we are talking about a wider society, but we particularly go to that character and watch into her life. And then in the other situations, it's also a bit, you know, there is so much pressure on her and so much expectations from the people around her. So we wanted to make the audience feel and go a little bit into this, like how it's putting pressure on her. We are moving towards her, you know, she is a bit, it feels a bit enclosed, or, you know, putting pressure on her. There was also, in the script, we had like a voiceover. Originally, the film was planned with a voiceover. So in these sections, we also had a voiceover once, which I then at one point said goodbye to. But so this was also, it was a mixture. Both getting into her head, you know, what she was thinking.
Because, and also, like, you know, I would like to know, like, what was your discussion with the actors? Because you used, like, you know, a lot of close-ups. You go into close-ups of Ina, and then, like, you know, the character transformation happens, like, you know. So how do you work with the actors, like, you know, in the set and, like, before the shoot?
Yeah, so for me, it's very important that I can work with the actors quite freely, so that they can move, that they don't have to go, oh, here, move to that, you have to land on that point, and so on, you know, like that. It's really a film mainly about the characters and the interaction of the characters. So I worked a lot with my main protagonist, and I actually really rehearsed like every scene of the movie. I love to see the casting before, so we did various castings, so to see if the characters really fit together, you know, even in small roles. Of course, not like if it's like a day role or so, not, but like I'm interested in seeing them before and see how the dynamics work and if it fits. And then also my main actress, Annerate Polle, she comes from the theater, and she loves to rehearse and talk a lot about the film. So it was also reading with her the script several times, adapting it, changing the dialogues a bit. And of course, after rehearsals, we changed the dialogues a bit, transforming the language so it really fits and she can relate to that.
Also, like, you know, I mean, it says, like, you know, films are made in 3 times, like, you know, in the scripting stage, and during the shoot, and also, like, you know, it develops during the post-production. So, like, I would like to know about your production process, like how many days did you do the shooting, and then at the post-production, what was the development you brought in?
So I can really say, yes, it is. I can really say that, but for all about my films, like that you shoot it 3 times, and that it is really like that. I have to say we did such a good preparation that on the shoot we didn't do so many changes because we already knew before. I
mean, you had very strong paperwork for the film.
Yeah, exactly. And also the dialogues, I mean, they are really, we didn't do I'm not such a fan of improvising. I rather do it in the process before and then having it really set up and then not changing something during the shoot. But yeah, we shot not too long, 25 days. And
for the post-production process, like how much time do you have spent on that? Like,
also not crazy long, but we kind of really, we did a lot of editing and then changing small things, editing out. The film is only 80 minutes now. It was, I thought it would be a bit longer, But yeah, of course.
Yeah, because when
the
you're watching it also,
rhythm
we can see
everything.
like, it's very carefully crafted film.
Yeah.
Like, but like when you're like, it's like my last question is like, but I could combine it, like it's not like, a lot of music in the film, but you have picked like, very like one or two instrument in the film, and the flow actually become very smooth, like everything like become very smooth with your music. So what was your take on the music of your film?
The music is also something very complicated, and we worked on that a lot. So the composer is a friend of mine. I know him from film school as well. He's a filmmaker as well and has a band in Germany. And we tried actually really different stuff. It took us quite a long journey to come to that music, which is there now. So, yeah, it has, it's difficult to find the right rhythm, and I'm really happy how it turned out, but it was hard to find because the melody, the rhythmic, that it's not too melancholic, but we also go with the character. It has to fit to Ina's life, and it's a process. We try out different things, and then
it's very interesting musicscape also in the film. So yes, our time is up. So thank you very much for bringing the film. And we wish you all the best. Have a great festival journey for your film, and a great international release and sales for your film. Thank you, Katharina, for coming
thank you so
with us.
much.
And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dhanushka from PÖFF TV.